Good morning, everyone. June 22nd, 2020. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another exciting week of Project 2020. It's episode 33. It's week number 14. I'm ready for this week. So today we're going to talk about the market pricing. We're going to talk about the cards that get released, but also last night I took a look back at where we were at 6 weeks ago at pricing and to see where we are now with the first and second player cards. And the results are quite shocking. So stay tuned for that. But first, before we begin, if you could do me three huge favors. Number one, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Number two, hit that bell so you're notified when my videos get posted. And then number three, hit that thumbs up. I'll also be live in the comments for the next 30 minutes as you watch the video. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave it below. But now let's get to episode number 33. So what happened yesterday? Number one, I forgot to buy my cards, which is surprising, but it also speaks to why these cards sell on the secondary market. People like myself, we forget, it's a holiday, whatever happens, we get busy, and then we have to go back and buy it somewhere else. So I thought it was hilarious that I forgot to buy my two cards yesterday, and I was only buying two bundles this entire week. So very sad, but thankfully, I got it taken care of on Twitter afterwards, but that was really funny. But looking at the actual hard numbers, yesterday, Ricky Henderson post under 5,000. My target there was 5,000 to 8,000, and I thought he'd be right around 6,000, like I said in the video, but he came in at 49.66. And think about it, if I had bought 34 more cards, I would have hit my range, but that never would have happened. But it was good to see him come down that low. Now, look, again, that's still a lot of cards. But when you combine that Ricky with the Bob Gibson, it's just over 11,000 cards. And one thing that I have on the website that I don't talk about much on the show is just a print run chart, because the chart in itself is just more of a visual. There's nothing really to glean from it other than what happened in the moment or what happened during your print run day. But when you take a look at that chart, it just basically tracks everything, every print run announcement when you combine the two cards every single day. So yesterday, of course, was our 60-second announcement. And as I said, it was a second ago, it was just over 11,000 cards. That was our lowest day since since day 30, which was card 59 and card 60. So everything right now, at least, is lining up to be in 60 card chunks. So look, we had a very distinct card 1 to 60 with Maguire's Natural being card 60, then 61 to 120, 124. Those are being sort of in its own group, and now you've got the next 60. So there's potential that these print runs are going to continue to drop, obviously with Nolan Ryan and Sandy Koufax today. But where do we go with the next 60 cards? And so I think the challenge that we're going to have, and I say challenge really, look, if these print runs continue to be 4,000, 5,000, maybe even a 3,000 card soon, it's hard to say. It's going to continue to put a lot of pressure on cards from 60 to 120. Those cards that are 8, 9, 11, 12, 15,000, it's going to continue to bring those values down. So it almost feels like if you want to move them, you might want to move them now. It's hard to say. I just don't know if we get back to a situation where we're talking about 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 print runs consistently here, and maybe a spike with a Trout or a Griffey, something like that. I don't see how an 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 card, goes up in value exponentially like the first cards have. I just think it's too hard, but we will find out. But now let's take a look at the market on first and second player cards. Quick look in at the market overall. And I use the volume chart again because the pricing one is incredibly messy and it's better to look at on the website. But yesterday we sold on eBay 1,014 cards. Yesterday's numbers, as I said, I thought they were a little bit off. They're about 60 cards missing. So yesterday's volume, actually on Saturday's volume, moved up to 964. So I've gone back and edited the sales price and the volume here. But look, very similar, similar volume, similar pricing. When you take a look at the first player cards, when you look at 616 to 620, we've got, here again, 9 cards that are positive to the time frame of 6/9 to 6/15. And then yesterday we had 6 cards not sell, and then we had 7 cards actually up in value. The cards that missed, if they did sell a copy, were very, very similar to their actual pricing. The one oddity here is the Frank Thomas Ben Baller. Someone sold one, and there was a note in the title to read the description, and it was talking about case scratches. And so, obviously case scratches are a legit concern here. I think that that card sold for well under what it should. I think it sold for like $60. It was something really crazy. But that, of course, I'm leaving that one in there. I can't remove that because it's a redescription listing. But that's why that one's like 30% off. But when you look at the pricing overall, very steady to where we are the past 5 days, and 6-7 cards moved up. So I think we're in a good spot overall. We're leveling out again. It feels like. But now let's take a look at the second player pricing. So this one is a little bit different when you look at the performance to the previous time period. So, only about 6 cards are positive right now to 6.9 to 6.15. And then yesterday's values are kind of all over the map. I mean, you've got 7 cards that are positive. You've got cards down 10, 12%, 19%. The Dwight Gooden's only one sale, 23% with Bob Gibson. So secondary cards, look, they're not as static right now as the first player cards. There's some volatility up and down of these values. But when you think back to where they came from a few months ago to where they are now, there's still some good money in there. But we have to be careful here on these just because there is a little more volatility than there is in the first player cards. But now let's take a look at where we were 6 weeks ago and to see where the prices were and where they are now. So to set the stage here and how I kind of got down this rabbit hole last night at about 11:30 is obviously with no pre-orders to look up. I was looking at some sales data to figure out, where have we been? Where are we going? Because with this print run dropping, there's going to be some interesting things happening in the future. And so I wanted to look back at my grow test cards and go, okay, I paid this amount for them. Like my Bob Gibson, for example, I paid $124. My Tony Gwynn, about just under $80. I paid a little bit more than $80 for the Roberto Clemente. So I was just curious. I started looking around at some numbers and go, wait a second, let me look back 6 weeks and see where all of these cards were 6 weeks ago. Because look, 6 weeks ago, a lot of us were not in the game like we are now. And again, in 6 more weeks, there's going to be people who are getting into the game who are not in the game right now. And you're also going to see videos out there who are going to say, this product is terrible. There's no money in it. This is trash. Topps has made a mistake with this product. But we're forgetting this is the extreme long game with this product. We have to think about this in the long term in 2021, 2022, the end of this year. This is not as simple as open case, sell cards, move on to the next product. And I've said that numerous times. You know that I'm a bull for this product. You know that I'm very long on this product overall. But I said, okay, let's take a look at the last 6 weeks of values and see where we went. Because over the past, I'd say, month, we had the most incredible surge possible. And then we had the most incredible fall from grace at the same time, like the next day. So it's really hard to lose sight of where we came from. But I want to take a look at these card prices 6 weeks ago. So here is that chart. Look at all of that green and look at all of that triple digit growth in just 6 weeks. And people wonder why I'm so excited about this product from a long-term perspective. Just a couple of quick examples here. Look, Bob Gibson, card number 7. You could have bought that card between May 4th and May 7th for $75. It is now selling for $278. Even his second card, card 46, $48. Now it's $251. Look at card number 1, the famous Ichiro. 6 weeks ago, this card was $307. And now over the past 5 days, not counting yesterday, right? $1,100, 263% up. Even his second card, $99, $253 now. You could even go down to like Willie Mays, $41, card 15. 6 weeks ago, that card was $41. Now it's $198. Card 27, $32. Now it's $166. Every single card here has tremendous growth. Now, there is one thing to note here when you look at the future. When you look at like Ken Griffey and you look at Mike Trout, those numbers are higher print run numbers. Like the Mike Trout is 13,000. The second Mike Trout is 2,900. And the Griffey on the bottom here again is 2,500 and 3,700. Also the Jeter up top there, you can use the same example here. All of those cards have higher print runs, and those cards are moving up at a slower rate. So I don't think for a minute, by the way, that any of these high print run cards are all of a sudden going to gain 30% over the next 6 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen. But when you think about this product overall, you think of the longevity of it, you think of the price value, you think about where this product could be in 12, 18, 24 weeks. By the time we get to card 400, I mean, this week alone, we're just going to hit the 1/3 mark on Friday when card 133 gets announced. So we still have so much time left but just look at where we came in the past 6 weeks, even with the incredible surge that we had and the incredible fall from grace. There is still a ton of money in here, and you can still make a ton of money. So this is why I am still incredibly long on this product and why I am still doing all these videos, because this set is amazing and you can make serious money. You just have to know where to look. So when you think about where to look, let's look at the 2 cards that were released this morning. And first up is the Sandy Koufax by Joshua Vides. And I have mispronounced his name for the longest time. So that is based on a video of his, that's how he pronounces his name. But look, the Koufax is very similar to what you expect from Joshua Vides. And this is his 7th card. He has had the Ricky Henderson, Dwight Gooden, Mariano Rivera. He had the Tony Gwynn, then the infamous Nolan Ryan as part of the Griffey Day. And then we had the Jackie Robinson. And so I've done something different here. I've added his photo to try to put a name or a face to the name overall. And then his print run, look, his first 2 cards are in the bottom 10 right now. And then his Ryan is in the number 3rd overall. That, of course, is just because of what happened. So, and now when you look at Sandy Koufax overall, this is his 7th card. And by the way, on the screen is his actual rookie card to give us a point of reference as far as where the artists have come from that card. But look, Rochester was his 2nd card, then Old Man Allen. You had Andrew Thiel, Fucci, Natural, and then recently with the Tyson Beck, which sold 21,535. Look, he has one of the lowest print run cards at card number 2, and he also has one of the highest at number 89. So where does this card land? It's too hard to say right now. Obviously, we'll know more tomorrow morning when the pre-orders come in, and I'll have my projection then. But now let's look at Nolan Ryan. So while we can't have a grotesque card every week, I am enjoying the fact that now it's been back-to-back Mondays with a grotesque card, and slowly people are recognizing his style and the design perspective of this card. So another clean design here, and it's great to see with Nolan Ryan after last week's Doug Gooden with the triangle. So grotesque is actually Kimu Meyer, and there's his photo up there. He's a senior creative designer with Nike. And look, the cards he's produced are the cards you see on my desk every single day. So it's not like we need to review his cards. But the thing with grotesque is he's never had a card print over 9,000. The 8,800 from last Monday was his highest card. So it's going to be very interesting to see if this Nolan Ryan pops over 9,000, if it's similar to where it was last week with Nolan Ryan's card on Monday. But when you look at Nolan Ryan overall, this is his 7th card, and there again is his rookie card up top where the artists are taking their inspiration from. You know, he's had Blake Jameson, Gregory Siff, F. Dot, Andrew Thiel, Joshua Vides, which is, of course, the first artist today, and then King Saladin. So I think this Nolan Ryan is the perfect test in the moment for where the print run's going to land, because the artist that's doing this did not produce over 9,000 last week, but Nolan Ryan did produce over 12,000. So we're going to find out tomorrow morning where pre-orders land and relate it back to last Monday's card. But with that, guys, have a fantastic day. And remember, I'll be live in the comments for the next 30 minutes. If you have a question or comment around the show, please leave it below. Also, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. But have a fantastic day, and I'll see you back tomorrow morning for episode number 34.